Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Olivier Massat. He's the CEO of Atome PLC. Olivier, very good to speak with you today. And of course, you've announced an offtake agreement with Yara International for fertilizer produced at your Villeta project in Paraguay. So a significant milestone for Atome.
Significant for Atome, yes, because it means that one of the largest fertilizer producer in the world is willing to buy all of our production from our site in Villeta. Significant as well because it means that our project is further de-risked, further more attractive to project finance investors, and also significant globally because it is the first time that any company has achieved that state as far as an offtake from green fertilizer product at industrial at industrial size for a very long term.
Olivier, can you tell us more about Yara? As you said, they're going to be buying 100% of the fertilizer from Villeta. Tell us more about the company itself.
So I think to simplify it, maybe Yara is the equivalent of Shell. If you had to give an equivalent, right? It's 40% owned by the Norwegian government. It's they trade over 20 million tons of fertilizer a year, and one of their biggest markets is actually Latin America. About I think 30% of their production and their fertilizer sales is in Latin America. Also, they have been at the forefront of green fertilizer. Right? So they just announced, for example, last week that they're going to supply over 150,000 tons of fertilizer per year to PepsiCo for their agri and potato farms, who are looking for green fertilizer. So clearly, from our point of view, it's the right partner. They are big in our region in LATAM. They have obviously a very high credit rating, which makes them a great off-taker. And finally, they really know where to go and find that green premium and maximize the value for Atome as we clearly want to get the best price possible for our fertilizer.
So Olivier, you say in the RNS that the heads of term agreement is a key milestone before negotiating and completing project funding. Take us through the steps as you get this project going.
So, some of investors who have followed us, we take a very de-risking approach to projects. So we first negotiated the power purchase agreement, then bought the land, then did the environmental social impact assessment, the authorization from operationally to be able to start building. And clearly the offtake was pretty much the last missing key. And actually maybe the most important key when you look at what you need when it comes to project finance, for us to basically have mature discussions with project finance and investors at the asset level to be able to maximize the value and them coming into the asset to help finance the project and bring it to final investment decision by the end of this year.
And then when would you start construction of Villeta, because you're aiming for production in 2027?
Mm-hmm. So we finished front-end engineering and design a couple of months ago. So we have already basically pre-selected a number of the key suppliers. We have also pre-selected our engineering and procurement company. So basically, the moment we hit FID, we are ready to break ground physically in Villeta. Right? So as we certainly are on track to make it to the end of Q4 for the FID, we'll be able to start construction and procurement and ordering the long lead items, such as the compressors, for example, so that within 31 to 34 months, we'll be operational, which basically leads us to the end of 2027 to be basically full steam ahead in production. So for us, clearly, there's a lot of work behind. There's more work coming ahead of us, but clearly we are seeing, let's call it the end of that tunnel. And importantly, it really proves that we can then accelerate Project 2 and Project 3 as we've de-risked Project 1.
Well, let's talk about that, because with this supply agreement secured, are you exploring funding options for your other projects in Paraguay as well as Costa Rica?
So not quite yet. I think at the moment, the stage of Project 2 and Project 3 is very much on the negotiation of a power supply agreements, which is the foundation for everything. Having a strategic relationship with Yara is important in itself because clearly they get, let's call it first look into the further projects. And also, obviously, having Project 1 being, let's call it, proving its bankability helps us accelerate the other projects. So we are going to get there, absolutely. And it's all about accelerating because, yes, we've been the first one to work and to identify green fertilizer as a, let's say, place of growth. We've seen a couple of copycats coming, which are not listed. And so we want to keep that leadership and we want to continue moving ahead. So yes, project 1 is being de-risked and is proving that project 2, 3, and beyond will also be bankable, therefore, on the path to being de-risked.
Well, Olivier, I hope you'll keep us posted on any progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
No, thank you very much, Stephen. Talk to you soon.
That's Olivier Massat. He's the CEO of Atome PLC.